Welcome to CITE's Blue Ribbon Project podcast. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Christine Thomas, an educator with over 20 years of experience. Christine will be sharing her journey through education, including the unique experience of being one of just two fully remote students in our St. Peter's Doctoral program. Thanks for joining me, Christine. To start, can you introduce yourself and share how you first heard about our doctoral program with St. Peter's?
Okay. So I'm Christine Thomas. I am an administrator in Colorado. I started going to Latina workshops, Latino inspired professional development, and I was in a program and they have different guests come and speak. And one of the speakers was from St. Peter's CITE program. And they were talking about this doctoral program. And for me growing up, my parents didn't go to college. So for me, it's kind of like something I don't take for granted. I'm given these opportunities. And so if I can do it, then I'm going to do it. And I didn't know at first that the majority were in New Jersey, but the way it's worked out has been great. And so it just piqued my interest because I am working full time. I do have a family. I have children. And so I was like, this might work. I was a little hesitant also because it was online. So I didn't know how that was going to work out. And now having completed the first semester and getting into the groove of how it works, I've made it to where it works for my life. And it has been, like I say, the program's easy, but being able to plan for it has been nice for me to have control over that piece.
Let's get into a little bit of your journey in education. Did you always know you wanted to move into administration at some point? Where did the inspiration come from? I love that you surpassed not just your own expectation, but your parents as well. Was there a specific moment that pushed you toward leadership after years in the classroom?
For me, when somebody tells me I can't do something, that makes me want to do it more. And my high school counselor, when I told him I wanted to be a teacher, told me that was the stupidest thing I could do. And for me, I was like, challenge accepted. And so I went to school just knowing I wanted to be a teacher. I was in the classroom for 19 years. And for me, going into admin, I didn't want to do it until I had the experience of all the elementary grades, because I've always had my opinions of, you should know enough to run a school. And so that for me was my own personal goal. Like, if I'm going to be saying this stuff, I need to practice what I preach. And so after my 19th year, I had an administrator who would invite me to these leadership conferences that I never got before I met her. And so to be treated as an equal in that context, it was like, I can do this, because my administrator prior to her, I would ask for leadership opportunities and I was told no. So it wasn't until I met her that I was it opened my eyes to everything that's out there, that you don't know what to ask when you don't know. So having her to help me navigate that really inspired me to do it for myself, yes, but also help people along the way to know that there are these possibilities for us.
19 years in education is definitely something to be proud of. Many teachers dream of moving into administration but hesitate, whether it's fear of the coursework, the idea of going back to school, or concerns about balancing it all. What would you say to a teacher who's considering that next step but feels unsure?
I would say just to take the leap. We're not given these opportunities very often. And somebody once told me, opportunities don't wait for you. So if it's there, take it, because it's not going to wait.
We touched a little bit on work-life balance earlier, but I'd love to go a little bit deeper. How do you personally manage juggling your day-to-day responsibilities while working toward your doctorate? What strategies help you maintain that balance?
I set aside, so knowing my kids' schedules, okay, they're going to sleep in till this time on the weekend. I know I have to wake myself up earlier than I would like, but I know, okay, I can put in 2 hours on the weekend on a Saturday, or I know I can put in more hours on a Sunday. During the week, if they have homework, I set up myself to do my homework as well. And then I just try, if I have reading to do, I'll set aside time to do reading for myself and then just jot notes. And when I'm ready to sit down and get it all done, because there's enough time between in the week and you know what your assignments are, it really is up to you to determine how you're going to do that. Because if I wait till Saturday to read it all, write it all, and think I'm going to turn it in on Sunday, I'm going to be, well, the professors are going to be very disappointed because I won't do a very good job.
As we know, experience is often the best teacher. What's something you've learned from your students or from working with parents that shaped your approach as an educator? And as a second part to that, what advice would you give a new administrator who might not have as much experience dealing with parents yet?
I think there's a book called, I don't know the name of it. I'll have to get back to you. But there's like a compass on how you listen to people talk. And is it coming from the heart? Do they just want you to hear what they're saying? They could be really mad at you, but honestly, they're not mad at you. You're the first person they saw after something happened in their life. And so learning not to take it personal, they probably will forget you were the one they yelled at that day. Listening to see if it's just a detail they need or a logistical piece and being able to help with that, but being able to determine what is needed and not letting your ego get in the way, because it's not all about you. You work in a school for the students who are at that school, and at the end of the day, if what I did was not for the students, then I don't know what I did.
Being one of only 2 remote students in this program is definitely a unique challenge. What's been the most difficult part of pursuing your doctorate as a fully remote student?
One of the challenges I would say is just, and I think this is something that will be worked out eventually, but just like we do have Saturday classes once a month during the school year, but being remote on those, like not being able to hear or be in the conversation with your cohort, can be a bit challenging. Although we have like a group text where we could chat if needed. So they have tried very hard to make us feel welcome. They'll greet us in the mornings when we're there on Saturday. So yeah, that's the only challenge, is not being there physically with the people.
If someone new were joining the program tomorrow, what are 2 key tips or 2 key things you'd want them to know to help them succeed?
2 tips. Understanding where your weaknesses are in regards to time. And being honest with yourself. If you think you're not gonna, or not assuming you know it all, because I thought, oh yeah, I can do 2 classes, but one of the classes so I'm in the second semester now, summer session. One of the 2 classes both times has been something I'm not used to. So that does take me additional time than I would have thought, thinking I can read, but it's much more than just reading and really digging deep into what they want. So understanding yourself, what you need in regards to time, and being honest about that. And then also really dedicating that time to the school work without the distractions. Like, nope, I'm shut off for 2 hours. I'm shut off. And I know not everybody has that luxury. I get that. But if there is a 30-minute period, then 30 minutes do it, or whatever it might be. There's ways that it can be done. It's just a matter of, there are small sacrifices you'll have to make, like sleeping in or not doing something you really hoped for at that moment, but it all comes back eventually.
Throughout this conversation, it's clear that we've all learned that you're an expert at juggling priorities and managing your time. What advice would you give to an educator or aspiring administrator who struggles to prioritize tasks, especially when unexpected issues come up, as they so often do in schools? What key strategies or mindsets help you stay on track?
I think in regards to work, being an administrator, when that angry parent emails at 5 p.m., nothing I say at 6 or 7 is there's nothing I can do at that point. So just being able to get that good night's sleep so that I can come back the next morning rather than at the end of a long day where I'm tired and I might say something that I didn't really want to say. And giving yourself that permission to say, nope, that's work. I left work at whatever time it might have been. And I do really well at leaving myself a list of like, didn't do this, didn't do that. And that's my new list for the next day. So it is just giving yourself those boundaries and being okay, because in every other profession, it's not like teaching it. You can leave work and work's gone. And just being able to give yourself that permission to say, no, you know what? This is for me. This is what I want to do, and doing it.
Absolutely. And I still write lists too. I love my notes on my phone, but there's nothing like just coming back to just to say some handwritten notes for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christine, for joining me for this very special episode. Christine's story is a true testament and reminder of why education and educators matter. From her years in the classroom to now pursuing her doctorate as one of only 2 fully remote students in the St. Peter's program, her journey shows what's possible when you take that next step. If you're a teacher thinking about moving into leadership, Christine's advice is clear. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. The need for passionate, experienced administrators has never been greater, and programs like ours are built to support working educators just like you. If you're ready to explore your next chapter, visit www.citestpeters.com or email tom@citeprograms.com to learn about earning your administrative degree and advancing your career. Thanks again, Christine, and thank you for listening. Till next time.